Hello everybody, it's time to duel! Wait, you don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh? Don't worry, with my level of experience and my tons of experience playing the game, my appearances in events, and going to tournaments, I will be able to teach you how to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game in which you beat your opponent and become the next king of games. So following my steps, I will teach you how to be the next king of games. Yu-Gi-Oh! is Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a trading card game that was created by Kazumi Takahashi in 1999 or in 1996 if you count the manga. The manga, anime, and the card game are other medias that are used for Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is so expansive that it gets a video games, manga, and of course the trading card game that I'm about to teach you. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an expansive game that has been given many awards throughout the years. 29 when it's 2020 when it's 2009 in massive award of getting the best-selling Yu-Gi-Oh game of all best-selling card game to date because it sold over 2 billion cards. And let's not get over the fact of 2010 having a similar award of the most appearances and events. This will be shown in my visuals. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a side of Magic the Gathering because it was created in the manga by the same author, Kazuki Takahashi. Kazuki Takahashi got a ton of fan mail and decided, yeah, let me make this into a real game, and that's what he did. Enough with the history lesson. Let me teach you how to play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! First, you need cards. You get cards from Walmart, Target, Rite Aid, your game shop, GameStop, whatever. I'm sure they sell Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, being such a massive game. Now, you have your monsters, your spells, and your trap cards. Your monsters have effects that are used to beat down your opponent. This is Karibo. That's his name. It's known for its brown border. That's how you know it's a monster, as seen here. Now, it has an attribute of dark. There's dark, light, wind, earth, fire, water, divine beast. Those are your attributes to use from. Then, of course, there's levels. Its level goes from 1 to 12. Its level just signifies its type of summon. If it's level 1 to 4, you can summon one of it during your normal summon. If it's level 5 to 6, then you have to use one tribute summon. If it's level 8 plus, then you have to use 2 tributes, being 2 monsters. Then we of course have its attribute being Fiend, whereas Blue Eyes White Dragon over here is a dragon. Now, its effect text is what it does. This card stops a battle. This card stops one attack. This card does nothing. However, this card has its attack and defense points being 300 and 200. This card has over 3,000 and 2,500 defense and attack points. So if this monster were to attack this monster in the battle phase, it would lose. So this card will go to the graveyard, and those 3,000 attack points will be subtracted from this card's 300 defense, 300 attack points. So that means you would take 2,700 points of damage. Wait, you don't know about life points. Life points are basically how you survive in this game. You have 8,000 life points. 8,000 life points. So once you use those 8,000 life points and it reaches 0, you lose. If you deck out, you lose. If you get hit with a win condition, you lose. As for your deck, it's typically consisted of 40 to 60 cards. Now for spell and trap cards. Spell and trap cards are basically like this. Spell cards, bluish greenish border, face, name, pot of greed, spell symbol, spell name, its effect being draw 2 cards from the top of your deck, like so. Now, trap cards. You typically place these cards face down. The difference between trap cards is that you can't activate them until your opponent's turn. So, for example, Call of the Haunted. That Karibo that was just sent to the graveyard that I showed you, activate Call of the Haunted during your opponent's turn, it's back to your side of the field in attack position. Or, let's say if your Blue Eyes was destroyed, you get to bring that back. Trap cards, spell cards, they all have many different type of effects. Some being types like continuous trap, like you see in the symbol here. that allows you to continue using it, that allows it to stay on the field. Normal trap cards go to the graveyard once used, whereas continuous spells also do the same. Once they're used, they go to the graveyard. Continuous spells stay on the field. Now, quick play spells you use during whenever turn, whenever time. Counter traps use whenever during your opponent's turn. It acts faster than normal traps. Field spells. Basically, you put them in the field zone and they affect both players, and they have effects that affect both players. Some decks also have extra decks, which also have a different type of monster. Monsters are very varied in type, like Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, and Lynx. Don't worry, you won't need to load those for now. With all that, let me show you the field. This is the field that you must be working with. Your life points will be totaled typically by a calculator or someone writing it down in a book. Now, the field spell, the extra deck, the pendulum zones, the graveyard, the main deck that you put your deck at, and your monster zones, you typically have 5. And the spell and trap cards and the spell and trap card zone, you typically have 5. And of course, each phase. Now, that's the basics of how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I recommend Simo's video in the description. He gives a